And it's also believed that envy has a harm. There's a madarra related to envy. But it's said that the one envying, his envy harms him before it harms the object of his envy. So he's harmed by it faster than he can harm the object of his envy. Although the evil eye is generally related to envy, it doesn't have to be. Some people just have the eye. It's some type of psychic power that some people have. So it doesn't have to be that they envy, although it's dangerous. Like traditionally in a lot of Muslim cultures, a firstborn male, they used to pierce their ears and dress them as little girls for the first 5 years. I mean, really, they did that. It was very common. And I knew somebody, an older man, who had holes in his ears, and I asked him about it, and that's what happened. So people were very fearful of these things. Now, obviously, in Western culture, most of this stuff is seen now as kind of superstitious. It's interesting that every culture has a concept of the evil eye. Every culture. European cultures. I mean, invidious, which means to envy, means to look with evil. Right? The evil eye. It's an evil glance. Right? The Chinese have an evil, and they do a lot of ritual to prevent the evil eye from afflicting their houses. You'll see mirrors on Chinese houses often, and it's to deflect the evil eye. So it's a universal belief. It's not limited to Islam. People, and generally when you have universal beliefs, there's a foundation for it. It's not an imaginary type thing. Although the anthropologists would say, things happen to people, right? And they don't know why it happens, so the way that they explain it is things like he got afflicted with the eye. In other words, it becomes a kind of easy way of explaining the inexplicable, right? So you do get situations where people will attribute something to the eye simply because they can't, like somebody gets sick, and you don't know why they're just sick, and you look and all these different, nobody can understand why. They'll say, oh, it might be the eye, musab bil-ayn. So, there's a hadith, al-aynu haqq. The evil eye is true. And the Prophet, if you look at him, he was somebody that was very much engaged in getting rid of superstition. Right? I mean, when the moon eclipsed, the Arabs believed that if a moon eclipsed, it meant a great person died. And it eclipsed the day that his son died, Ibrahim, the moon eclipsed. It was a perfect opportunity for somebody who was a charlatan to get a lot of... and people actually became Muslim that day because they said, the moon eclipsed for his son. He went out, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and announced to the people, the moon is a sign of Allah, the sun is a sign of Allah, and they don't eclipse for anyone. So he dispelled that superstition. So part of his teaching was really to dispel superstition. So when he said, al-aynu haqqun, and it's a sahih hadith, he's telling us that there's something real in the world called the evil eye, and people should take it seriously. It's not a joke. And in English you say, if looks could kill, right? People have a sense of when somebody's looking at them, and there's psychic power with looks,